Good morning children, I am your Salmas here. Happy to meet you all again. Hope you all are fine at home. Hope you all are doing all the work sending from school. Okay, hoping so we will go into the next part of our lesson, that is improvement in food resources. Last class we just saw the introduction part of this lesson and about kharif crops and rabi crops. Today we are going to see the next part of our lesson. Okay, we told you that improvement in food resources. So why do we need to have an improvement in food resources? Because India is a very big country with lot of people. So everybody should get good quality food for their proper health and maintenance. And the farmers are also benefited if they are selling quality products. So we will see how this improvement is brought about. This improvement is brought about in 3 stages. One is crop variety improvement, next one crop production improvement, and crop protection management. So today we will see crop variety improvement in detail. In this, the quality of the crop should be increased, and also the yield of the crops should be increased. Okay, this can be done by a method called plant breeding. Plant breeding means certain characters of plants are selected. Certain characters like disease resistant varieties which are resistant to fertilizers, which gives the crop which gives good yield. So all these are characters of crops, they are selected. And high yield means the plant gives us lot of produce or lot of products after cultivation, that is high yield. So all these characters are chosen through plant breeding. Now these chosen characters, how they can be brought into new plants, that is called hybridization. That is through hybridization. The hybridization means is nothing but mixing of characters and this mixing of new characters into new plants. That is called hybridization. We know that all the characters are controlled by genes. Genes are present in the nucleus of the cells. So all the characters are controlled by genes. So what we have to do is we have to select the genes that are responsible for disease resistant varieties or disease resistant characters, and we are introducing to another plant which are having less disease resistant plants. That is, they can be easily affected by diseases. So these disease resistant genes, that is the plants which can withstand diseases, the genes are taken out from those plants and introduced into another plants which are easily getting diseases. So now what happens? The new variety which is formed will have disease resistant crops. Like this, we can make our desired varieties of plants through hybridization, mixing of characters. So this hybridization can be done between 2 varieties of plants. You can mix the genes and what all characters we want, what all things we need to have in a new plant. All these we can make it, or you can create a new plant by mixing all these genes through hybridization. So now, thus newly formed crop, they should be resistant to different climatic factors. They should be able to grow in all the climatic factors. Cultivation and growth of the plants are related to weather, soil quality and availability of water. So the plants should be able to grow in any type of a climate. Whether there is a drought, there is less water, when there is salinity, if the soil is saline or salt water is there, the plants should be able to grow in that also. If the climate is like little bit winter or too cold, the plant should be able to grow in all these different climatic factors. Also help in the crop improvement. Next, high yield. High yield means the production is more. That is, from one papaya tree maybe you will get more than 100 papayas. So that is also that's what we call yield, good yield. So that is also one important factor. The newly produced plant after hybridization, through hybridization, it should grow in any type of climatic condition. So that also will increase the production or increase the different varieties can be newly formed. Okay. Now when you say quality should be increased, means what all things has to be increased? Quality means, for example, when you take wheat, the protein content in that should be high. So that is what we say, increase in variety or good quality means the protein content of that wheat should be high. Then in pulses also the protein content should be high. Then when you say when it comes to oil, so the oil present in the mustard, these are seeds. So the oil content in the seeds should be increased. So all these are the improvement or increase in the quality of the food. Okay. Another way of crop improvement means fruits and vegetables. They shouldn't perish easily. That means they should stay fresh for at least few days. Now these are the crop variety improvement. So these are the crop improvement where what all things should be improved in the quality of the crop. Next, biotic and abiotic resistance. Biotic means I have told you the living components of the atmosphere. That is, there are the living things. That is, some bacteria, some insects. They will cause diseases in plants. So the newly formed variety of plants should be able to get rid of these insects or diseases. They should be strong enough to get rid of these diseases. Then abiotic factors means that is the non-living factors like drought. That is the condition where there is no rain and water. Next comes salinity, that is the salt content of the water, and weather. So all these are the abiotic factors which are affecting the plant. So the newly produced crop should be resistant. That means it should withstand all these things. So then there will be a improvement in the variety of crops. Okay. The next important factor for the crop variety improvement is the duration, that is the time between sowing and harvesting should be short, so that what happens, the economic value, or you spend less and you get more out of it. When the time between sowing and the harvesting is less, that means you will get lot of yield. The farmers will have to spend less for the fertilizers and all those things, and they will also get more money out of it. So the farmers can grow number of crops in a 1 year itself. They may be able to raise more than 2 or 3 varieties of crops in a year if the maturity duration is less. That is, the crop after sowing, they should mature very quickly within short period of time, and they should give good yield, so that it is very much beneficial for the farmers. Next is wider adaptability. That means it is about the climate and weather. If the newly formed plant, if it can survive in wide varieties of climate, whether it is too hot, whether it is water is less, or whether there is snow, or whether the water is having saline, if all this is not disturbing the plant growth, then also you can get a lot of yield from the crop, or the variety of crop is good if the crop is able to survive in all the climatic conditions. So that is the wider adaptability. So this wider adaptability means the plant can live in any climatic conditions. So that also is one factor which will increase the crop production. Next is desirable agronomic characters. So this, what is agronomical characters? That means it is the technology of producing plants of our desired varieties for food. That is the agronomic characters. That is, our desired varieties of plants can be made. So now, for example, if the plant is very tall and profusely branched, that means if the plant is very tall with lot of branches, these type of plants are very good for the using as fodder. That means for animals, food for animals and livestock. Many farmers, they grow cows and goats, sheep and all, livestock, that is called. So to feed them, they need to feed these animals. So those are called the fodder crops. So there are farmers growing this fodder crops also. So if the plants are very tall with lot of branches, then it is a good variety which can be used as fodder. The next comes, when it comes to cereals, dwarfness. Dwarfness means it is very short. If the plant is very short, this usually cereals, that is the wheat and rice. If the plants are very short, that is the dwarf condition. So what happens? The plants will take up only very little nutrients from the soil. So that is also one factor in the improved crop variety. So which will give good quality crops plus high cost, that is less cost to the farmers. So these are the agronomical characters, that is our desired characters with using technology. There are a lot of technology. I told you, taking out genes from plants. All these are used because of our technology has improved. We can do all this. So by taking out genes, we can create our desired crops. Those are called the agronomic sectors or fields. This agronomic characters will help to give plants which will give high productivity. So that's how these characters are used to give good quality and high yield crops. So that's how good crops can be, variety of crops can be improved. So these are the few ways we can improve the crop varieties. So I told you, climatic factors. A plant should be able to grow in any type of climate. That also can give a high produce with low cost. Then same like that, using fertilizers. When a plant needs only less fertilizers, that is also a good crop variety. And also where the plants are resistant to diseases. That means it is not affected by diseases easily. That also is one crop improvement. So there are few, that's what we said, plant breeding, hybridization, then agronomic. All these are new terms for y'all. So plant breeding means we have to select, the plant breeders, they select characters of plants which we need, which of our desired characters we have to choose, and we have to take the genes responsible for that, and we have to introduce into another plants for getting a good product or good quality crop. So that is called hybridization. That is the mixing of two varieties of crops. So that is hybridization. So all these now I told you they are using the technologies, new technologies, new varieties of crop can be produced. So thus there is a increase in variety of crops. So hope you all understood this, children. Go through the lesson. We will see the rest in the next part. Thank you.